Viewers and subscribers, you're welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1, where we tell you undiluted truth. Have you ever seen a politician who have benefited from the corruption and impunity as we have in Nigeria today say the truth? Now, I want you to listen to Adam Oshiomhole. I'll tell you why he does it.
Liberal economic policies have failed Nigeria. I want to be able to see the president saying, yes, Africa growth, we have disagreements, but I am elected to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not of Africa Charter. We would relate with other countries. The days must be over where we talk of Africa as the centerpiece of our foreign policy, and way to one in which Nigeria and the welfare and the well-being of Nigeria is the central focus of Nigeria foreign policy. If it is not good for Nigeria, we will do it. How can you subscribe to something that you cannot participate in? How can you have a free market where you only buy but you have nothing to sell? And the only thing we have to sell is crude. And that crude is not determined competitively. It is determined by some forces in the West, whether the president of US is sick or whether the publish of data, it shows that economy is slowing down, that affects the price of oil, whether China is growing or China is slowing down, and all of that. And so the result is that today, we are importers of, from the lowest second-hand time, we started borrowing. And to encourage us to borrow more, economists tell us about how much you can borrow in relation to GDP. They'll always have some statistics as if this were in the holy documents. And so we borrowed to a point that they now came back to say, you have overborrowed. And for us to support you, you must devalue your currency. You must float it. Thus subsidize consumption. And when you devalue your home, goods and services produced at home will be cheaper, and therefore you have greater export opportunities. Because Nigeria made goods, we find cheaper prices overseas, and foreign goods will be too expensive for the natives to buy, since we are now in our native land. And because they can't buy, we've got to have a more realistic balance of trade. And that is how around 1978 or so, the Naira was devalued from where it was 1 Naira to 1.5 US dollars. When I went to UK to pay my school fees in the UK, I got my check from, I believe, Barclays Bank, which is now Union Bank. And I said, if indeed there is such thing as a visible hand, why do we elect a president? Why do we elect a governor? The market, by its nature, is not accountable, except to the buyer and the seller. But we elect governments that are accountable, that we should be held responsible for our collective well-being. When we celebrate China, we just look at the outcome without looking at the system that produced that outcome. The Chinese also go to the World Bank. They also go to the IMF meeting. They listen. When they finish, they say thank you. They go back to Beijing and do what they call capitalism with Chinese characteristics. The interest rate is not market driven. The rate you change your money in hotel is the same rate you change it in the bank. I know it because I have been there. That is not market forces. That is state regulation. And when a state functionally abuse power, they execute. They kill. And so, without following Western models, China has become, over a period of 15 to 20 years, they had double-digit growth consistently, not based on market liberal models. When Washington insists that the Chinese currency is overvalued, the Chinese reply, it is not the foreigner who will tell us the value of our currency. In Nigeria, our people will go to the World Bank and IMF, they will tell us what they think we are. And we celebrate. We are to rate who we are, not foreigners. And until we return back to this homegrown policy and damn the consequences with the world, because they are going to fight us. I do not think that romancing with them is going to deliver us. No, it will not. And they will turn around to accuse us of corruption. And yet every kobo stealing are kept abroad is in their banks. But they are not corrupt. If we recognize that we were at our best when the Nigerian state make policies that are informed by the Nigerian condition, then let us revert back to that. If we don't, free market, these liberal, neoliberal economic policies that Amadi was speaking about, can never deliver prosperity to the majority of our people.
Good. That is Adam Oshiomhole. Now let me tell you, whenever you see a politician of this kind say this kind of truth to power, just know that two things are involved. It is either that he is too far away from the table, the power table where they benefit from the proceeds of bad governance, or he is endearing himself the kind of praise that will bring him closer to the table to be part of the sharing of the proceeds of bad governance. But ultimately, he said the capital truth. Tinubu had made policies that have thrown Nigeria into chaos, that had plunged Nigerians into passing through hell in the name of having a government in power. And that is the bottom line. And I must tell Nigerians, the politicians and long grammar will not save you. You will save yourself. And that is the only message GGM is dropping to the Nigerian people. Waking up your consciousness to the fact that you remain the victims of bad governance in this country. And there is no two ways about it. Nobody will save you. Your help will not come from above. Your help will come from you and you alone. What do you think about this? Help me share this video to whomever that cares to listen. I'm also Peters, the advocate for good governance.